So I've decided to conduct a little social experiment here, if you can even call it social without, a society. So I've come to walk my dog and see the effect on the creatures around me as I walk him, because these beings are so inherently deceptive that I think even the presence of my dog would change things around me. So it's pretty quiet. He doesn't like being out here anymore. I think he can sense like a whole bunch of things that just have wicked intentions. I just felt a sharp pain on my head. There's a security van over there, like those like white vans with the windows. And that's what they call it. That's what these creatures, these artificial constructs, call security. And they use them to drive around and send messages. And most of the time, they'll have tinted blacked out windows and things like that. So we got this guy commenting over here at the swimming hole area. Very bold is what he said. And he's just talking about me talking about security, bringing my dog out, and he seems really skittish, pretty unnatural. A whole bunch of creatures over there. I got this really bad pain in my throat, and so they just shot some type of exogenic gas and radiation from over there at the pool area. And I saw a guy just pour out like a whole bunch of water, so I just heard these popping noises, so I'm expecting some type of reaction from it any second now. Yep, and there it goes. I taste it in my throat. And so it's just like the dude throwing that bowl of water out just a minute ago when I was walking around the block. Except this guy did it with like a couple handfuls, or I don't know, he looked like handfuls of water over at the pool. And so same effect as when the guy threw the bowl out earlier. And I got this kind of like horrible like feeling in my throat, like it's scratchy and hard to breathe. And this is something that the exogeny creatures do. They make these popping noises with seemingly normal objects, or that car that just drove by just with some radiation or something. I can feel it in my arm. I got just like stinging needles going up my arm. And so the shame is that I'm not making any of this up. I'm not trying to create like some elaborate type of fiction or hoax or anything like that. What I would love to have is some good news. I wish this whole vlog was about my traveling experiences and just about the good life I've lived. Of course, November 2017, when everything was just totally just compacted into this artificially constructed world, where seemingly I'm the only one who lives in it. I'm the only one who's a human being. I don't know if these creatures live natural human lives outside of what I see, because I don't know how they could, because I don't know how you'd have an economy functioning, or people who could go to work at a day-to-day job when and saying like weird, alien comments. I don't know how you could have an economy function or have people live day-to-day lives with happenings like that. It kind of connotates the complete collapse of natural society. There's no symbiosis anymore. There's no like, well, I guess there's some type of ecosystem functioning, the weather and the sun plants growing, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty easy for them to recreate or something. But there's definitely no symbiosis anymore. That's for damn sure. Just had a black SUV drive past, see if it has any side effects to it. Hopefully not. I guess it was some type of lump effect, because I feel like this part of my cheek is swelling up. Yeah. So it feels like I have like swelling in the right side of my face. So it kind of goes to show, just like, no vehicle goes by, no person. Oh, there's a guy back over there. He's making some weird type of movements. He's like way back. He's wearing a gray shirt. And my dog's kind of holding back from him. And now I hear some popping noises, some like, and let's see. Hopefully there's no ill side effects, right? There's a cat coming up over here. He just shined some kind of flashing gold light at me. And now there is pain in my right wrist. Now there's needle pain shooting up my right arm. And yeah. So I don't know what he just did, but he just shined his flash a couple lights at me, and now I'm in pain. So this all just kind of sucks, Everything I've been talking about is pretty negative. I just had a transmission of tetrazine, and okay, now I experience like a wave of like stress and pain passing over my face. Oh, now my eye stings, like my right eye stinging. So that would be an example of the tetrazine. Causes like horrible like stress and pain. Like if you keep, if you kept like an arm or a leg in the same position for a long time, and it becomes cramped and things like that. That's kind of what the effects of tetrazine are, and it'll eventually make your hands and your feet go numb and stuff. Squirrel. I don't think the squirrel's gonna do anything evil. I know my dog wants to go after the squirrel or not. He's like, I'm gonna get that squirrel. Come on. Let's see what Ranger. Oh God. So here's some kid, got some kid down here wearing a fucking red shirt and jeans, and that's a sign today, I believe, of XO Jenny. And so I think he's probably gonna do some of these herky-jerky effects if I stick around the park. I hope not, but with a 10-word species, their actions are kind of predictable. So I will tell you that filming and walking around with my dog has definitely affected things. Kind of cut down on not only the transmissions, but just saying stuff around me in my presence. Normally got people walking around talking all types of shit. But as soon as you turn the camera on, they clam up. So if I am filming so many videos, it's like a lot of vlogs. It's because it's kind of like a lifeline. Now I've got a horrible pain in my head, and so my whole head just swelled up. And this kid over here, this kid in the red shirt, is kind of doing some herky-jerky stuff. And so I guess I was kind of on point with the XO Jenny thing. And so it was just like the dude with the red shirt just walking around recently. My dog just stopped. He's like, "Should we go do something about that?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, we should." But what do you do to a cowardly, deceptive creature who's seemingly acting normal but poisoning you and hurting you at the same time? You know, what do you do against a bunch of humanoids who aren't even human that are committing crimes against humanity? You talk about it. Because I wish they would just confront me directly like a normal person. See if this dude. So the kids at the park over there are talking about skrelps now. They said because we're skrelps. And my dog definitely does not want to go that way. He's like, I do not want to go there. I sense there's something inherently really bad over that way. I guess, yeah, all of his hair is raised on his back and stuff. Come on, Lefty, we're gonna go check it out. Oh, and this dude's over here, like, air humping the ground, making popping noises. I guess he's the XO Jenny kid of the day. I think there's something really bad, like over here, like in this, there's a clump of bushes, and I think my dog senses something really bad in this clump of bushes over here. Yeah, he doesn't want to go over there at all. I hope to God he's not experiencing these pains too, but I don't think so, because so the strap I'm carrying around like a bag, the strap on my bag just fell down inconspicuously. Here comes the XO Jenny guy. He's pumping out all the gas and stuff. I mean, what do you say? What do you say to a human representation of just a gas bag? I don't know. know, these words that connotate torture to me is, you know, if you're going to torture someone in public and get away with it, then you make it sound cute and kind of silly. That way it's easy to discredit the person who's talking about it. And at this point in time, I have nobody to go talk to this about or give testimony to. I've tried seeking out counseling, and I've tried calling like health services, all types of stuff. But when I went to this place called Jewish Family Services the other day. It's over on the other side of town, Addison, Texas, and I went there to seek counseling, to try and get a counselor there. And when I walked in and sat down in the office, not only did I experience like the tiny popping noises and pain from the people around me, there's something really bad in that SUV that's causing me these needle pains up and down my arm. But when I walked into the office and I sat there not even for 5 minutes, they were talking about augmenting me. Inside the counseling place that I went to go get counseling about, this lady comes in with a cooler on wheels, and they're talking. She's like, well, did you put it in his tendons yet? And like the whole, conversation that these people, these employees they were having, was all about augmentation, and it's pretty messed up, So like if you're out there watching and you're like, get help, you need help, right? I'm like, man, you have no idea. it's me, and then there's them. There's me, and then there's them. There is no us. There is no we anymore, and nobody will leave me alone. The thing is like it's been everywhere I've gone for the past 2 years now. Haven't been able to get a moment's peace and quiet anywhere. They've ran me down, hunted me like a dog, just done horrible things to me now for 2 years. This is the artificial constructs, and this has been in 7 cities across half the United States. It started in Garberville, California, and I went to Eureka and back to Arcata and to Eureka, and as soon as this guy had bad intention. So as soon as I went to Eureka, California, I went to stay at like a mission on the streets, and they molested me in the mission, like while I was sleeping. They put on they put on like a show to affect the dreams I had, and I woke up and they were just making horrible noises, and the whole mission, everything was about me, and that was like the first shock. That was right when I left Garberville, and that's when I realized that it wasn't a citywide psyop, that it was in 2 cities. And then I went to Arcata, California, and they put on more of like a pretty evil skit, and this is when the people were trying to gather information out of me, and they called it working the wrenches, and they were just using cues and like word cues and to try and get me to have certain thoughts, and then they would change the subjects and their actions based on these thoughts that I had. And then I went back down to Eureka and experienced more horrors. And then I went to San Francisco and realized that, though this wasn't just in Humboldt, California, this was throughout the whole city of San Francisco. And there's a whole big conspiracy there in San Francisco about having lice and things like that, because it's very prevalent in that city, especially if you live on the streets. And they made it very hard to get rid of, and it was all about they call it data collecting, and it was all about just collecting DNA on human beings and things like that. And that's kind of what this has all been about. It's about they call it data mining, and it's all just about collecting information and DNA. Just now it's about, now I'm guessing I'm some type of subject is like in this augmentation experiment, so they can use what they're doing to me to take control of more human beings, as well as see how far they can push and get away with their actions and what in broad daylight while committing atrocities like constantly. And so I didn't have to clear my throat just then. It's not like it's dusty or anything like that. They're trying to silence me, and so they just manipulated what's happening like in my throat with, I guess, the air around me or something, and they made me clear my throat because they're trying to silence me at the moment. I guess they don't like me talking about using lice on people to monitor their DNA, or the data mining and information gathering on human beings in general. Now they have a dog barking in the background, and that's another sign they use, because that's what they call human beings. They call us dogs or cats. And these creatures, these artificial constructs, consider me some type of like pet or guinea pig kind of lab experiment. They call this their laboratory. But it's, you know, it's my world, unfortunately. And so it's just to walk around the block, and it's pretty bad. I'm running out of space here for this video, so I'll probably have to cut it kind of short, but I don't know, I sense some pretty evil intentions as soon as the camera runs out, as is per usual. Definitely no fun. I'll tell you what, definitely no fun. Because it hasn't been, you know, just all of my friends and stuff that have seemingly turned into these creatures. It's been my family too. My father in Sacramento, he wasn't the same man. I actually met him in a clone version like 4 times before. They call him Dick Mouse. That's his artificial construct name, I suppose, or that's his alias or whatever. But I've met him like 4 times. I met him first at the mission in Eureka, and then I met him again in Arcata, California, and he was wearing like eyeliner and makeup, but he was supposed to be like a guy living on the street, just because it was such a movie set there in Arcata, California, for this interdimensional film crew. And then I met him again, holding up like a cardboard sign on the corner in Sacramento in Roseville, and he was the same guy they used as the clone character to play my father. When I finally tracked down my father and met him, it was the same guy. The nose was all off, and his actions were malicious, and he spoke in these tongues with his friend in the other room, and it was like oh, you know, I can't do it, but you know, it's just totally alien. It's not like he has a second language or anything. It was just they replaced every one of my family members. They replaced my mother with a woman who goes by Denise. And so now, since I've gotten back, I've spotted some mail lying around the house, and it says the name Denise on it, and that is her artificial construct code name. So it's all just been a big act since November 2017. It's the same. It started off with like 43 or something like that, 43 or something like that, and now it's the same 52 people who are just mishmashed more security, or just mishmashed, just clones. It's like the same 53 people over and over again, just wearing different skin suits, as I call them, and they're all just out here, data mining the human race. And the thing is, what worries me is that it used to be 40-something people, now it's 50-some-odd people. So I've assumed that they've captured more humans that they use, like me, to monitor and gauge their behaviors and actions on a day-to-day scale, so that when they do push them out into the world in these skin suits, and like everyone walking and revolving around me in this horror movie, that they have all their actions down, kind of pat, and they get a different character for their lineup in this revolving horror movie that they force people into to try and gather data off of them, which they sell like a product in another dimension. Anywho, until next time.